Let's now shift focus now, shall we, into home loans and what we can look ahead to regarding projected residential property trends for 2023. Real estate experts reveal that central to some of these are trends around home loans which underpin the property sector. Now, to take us through some of the projected home loan trends for 2023, we're joined via Zoom by Careen McKinon, who is the head of sales at Ooba Group. Careen, a very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Good morning, Simpiwe.
Let's start with how the year 2022 in home loans was and what we can look forward to in 2023.
So 2022, despite the challenges of the external factors and, the rising interest rates that we've seen over the past 12 months, as well as the ongoing increase in the cost of living, we did see that the demand for home loans did continue to be relatively stable. So 2022 was definitely a good year. And if you look at the numbers, they were up on the 2020 and 2019 volumes, although slightly short of the 2021 volumes. But overall, the property market was still very buoyant in the year 2022.
Right. Now, speak to us about the fall of the 100% home loans and how approval rates for 100% home loans will remain high this year.
So we did see, coming out of the post-COVID, we saw a huge increase in the demand for 100% loans, and that was mainly driven by the people that were renting, home buyers potentially renting, looking to get into the property market, and the rates were obviously low. We have certainly seen a fall off since then, on average of about 5%. But we do believe that the home loans, although the number of applications will continue to decline just due to the market conditions, we also think that home buyers are prioritizing the impact of deposits and the benefits of paying a deposit when you're purchasing to get a slightly better terms and conditions, which includes the rates that the banks are obviously going to offer if you put down a deposit as opposed to taking a 100% loan. So although the volumes and application volumes will decline in the year ahead, we still believe that there will be a huge percentage of our market for 100% home loans.
And another trend that's on the rise is the buy-to-let investments. Tell us more about how this will continue to gain ground this year.
So we've definitely seen a shift in the buy-to-let, where many people are coming back into the market to invest in properties. That is a benefit in terms of now the rates going up, people are looking to rent again. So we've seen that people are looking to still get the benefit of purchasing a property and get the investment and the rental returns. In the Western Cape specifically, we saw the application volumes increase in investment properties of about 24.2% in October, which was a big shift, certainly over the last 12 months, with people getting back into the investment market.
Okay. And talk to us more about the off-plan properties and what are some of the trends projected for this year?
So huge growth, many developers taking their developers in terms of off-plan properties and new builds in terms of sectional title as well as plot and plan projects. We saw an increase of about 117% in our approval of home loans in new developments. And because the market is very active and many developers have taken because of the demand, took new projects to the market, it's largely driven as well by the affordability. Big benefit to the home buyer is that they don't generally pay any costs in terms of transfer duty and home loan registration cost, the bond registration fees, that's all included. And they'll only start repaying the home loan once the property is actually transferred and the new build is complete. So there's always a delay, or generally a delay, to taking transfer, which also allows the home buyer to prepare for when they take transfer of the property.
Got you.
Developers are certainly paying close attention to the needs of the home buyers, and the home buyer has plenty of choice in this particular segment of the market because of the amount of properties that have come to the market by the developers.
What is immigration and how is this movement going to impact home loans this year?
So immigration is certainly something that is definitely a trend. And although we've seen many companies move back to the normal office hours, there are still a majority of companies and many companies that have opted to have a different way of looking at people coming into the office, and they're continuing with a hybrid, flexible working model. This has allowed people to shift from the metropolitan areas and the cities to the smaller areas where you also get value for money. in certain property markets. But working from home has definitely impacted this immigration, and we believe that this will continue to be an impact in the market for the year ahead. Certainly, if you look at some smaller towns, just as an example, in the Western Cape, if you look at a little area like Betty's Bay or Greyton, they're strong contenders in terms of this immigration, where you can have a quality of life, a work from home space with flexibility of going into the office when required. So we do believe that the small towns will continue to feature prominently in this space going forward for 2023.
Let's now talk about how home buyers are now looking for more space and more affordable pricing, because it can get tricky, hey?
Absolutely. So I think this is definitely where the smaller towns are coming into play, and people are wanting their bang for their buck. People working from home have certainly looked to purchase slightly bigger living spaces and homes to accommodate the work from home model where it's required. So we definitely think that that in some of the markets, the smaller towns, we've seen that people are looking to move and get their bang for their buck in those smaller towns.
Let's also talk about the shift in the profile of a first-time home buyer. What have you seen with regards to the lower interest rates, at least for the past couple of years?
So we saw the shift for the first-time home buyers when the rates were tracking at 7%. I mean, certainly the prime rate ended 2022 at 10.5%, which is still very favorable if you look at the average of what the prime rate has been over the last 25 years. So we still believe that there will be a market for the first-time home buyers, but we do also understand that this particular demographic is very rate sensitive. So with the rate shifting from 7 to 10.5%, that does impact affordability quite severely. Saying that, we do believe that the next generation that's coming through that will be taking their places in the workplace going forward, and that's Generation Z, they do believe in home ownership, and we believe that that will also be driving the property market going forward over the next couple of years.
All right, Careen, lovely chatting to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure. Thank you.